but we do have time for just one more story today, which involves a certain Gary Lineker. Now, Gary Lineker has found himself in a bit of hot water after retweeting a tweet calling on all regional and international sports bodies to take an urgent stance on Israel's, what they say, violations of human rights, basically calling for Israel to be suspended from sporting bodies over its attacks on Hamas, or what they describe as attacks on Palestinian life. This is a fairly political thing for the BBC's #1 sports broadcaster to be getting involved with, Simon.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why the BBC put up with him, to be quite honest. I think it brings the whole institution into disrepute. I think it's unbelievable that they haven't held him to account on this and previous issues that he's got involved in. He gets a considerable amount of money from licence fee payers who can't avoid paying this, by the way. They have to pay it to be able to watch TV. And I think it's about time action was taken against him.
But also, that ask, calling to ban Israel from international football matches. I mean, what about other countries? Why Israel?
Yeah, well, the other point will be made is that it's not that long ago he was paid a considerable amount of money to go to Qatar, a regime that isn't, the most progressive country in the world, and the contrast between that and where he hasn't called for people not to be able to play football, and yet the contrast between this and that.
Yes, exactly.
Candice, is he just trying to be fired at this point? He's got a lucrative podcast not affiliated to the BBC. Frankly, he's got a very high salary at the BBC, but he might be thinking maybe he can make more money elsewhere now.
Well, he's got that option. I mean, I don't know if he's purposefully trying to do it, although some people have said maybe he is. Maybe he knows he can just act with impunity, that no one's going to do anything. He just enjoys having this controversial opinion. Although when you go through his Twitter feed, it's very jarring, because it'll be like football, 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 and then some radical tweet about Israel, then football, football, football. There's no balance there at all. Fine, he's allowed to have his opinion, but like you say, plenty of people resent having to pay the licence fee for that.
And isn't the crucial thing here? He was almost given a free pass by the BBC saying, you're a sports broadcaster, that's fine, you can opine about the level of tax or immigration or whatever, because that's not your beat. This is a sporting beat. This is a tweet about sport and a political tweet about sport. Does that mean we have to take it slightly differently from these tweets about Liz Truss or whatever it is, Simon?
I'm not sure. I think the BBC just have to get rid of him. I think that's the solution. I think that's the honest solution.
He clearly loves the sort of, I don't know...
He's leaning into it.
Yeah, he obviously loves it in some way.
You can imagine him sort of gleefully rubbing his hands, clicking the tweet button and just waiting for the explosions.
Very bizarre. Well...